I'm joined now by Scott Frost, the quarterback of tonight's winning Nebraska Huskers.
I'm so proud of this team, and I'm just so proud to have had a chance to play for Coach Osborne. And I just want to say this about the national championship. You know, I don't think there's anybody out there that with a clear conscience can say that Nebraska, and especially Tom Osborne, that great man, doesn't deserve a national championship for this.
Scott Frost is the only native Nebraskan to ever quarterback the Huskers to a national title. Frost was a Parade All-American and a standout at football, basketball, and track at Wood River High School. After returning to Nebraska from Stanford, Frost led the Nebraska football team to a 13-0 finish in 1997 and a share of a national title in Tom Osborne's final year coaching the Huskers.
It figures that Scott Frost would be a good athlete. His dad was a standout football player at the University of Nebraska, and his mom an Olympic discus thrower, and now both coach him at Wood River High School. But not only has he become good in sports, the senior quarterback has become one of the most sought-after football recruits in the country. He's 6'3", 210 pounds, and in just 6 games this season, has run for 14 touchdowns, passed for 16 more, and has piled up over 1,700 yards of total offense.
He combines really uniquely size, strength, power, and quickness along with his speed.
Even though he plays for a Class C1 school, Scott has been nationally recognized by Sports Illustrated and ESPN. Several colleges are recruiting him, including Notre Dame, Stanford, Washington, Colorado, and Nebraska. And phone calls from coaches like Bill Walsh, Don James, and Tom Osborne have become commonplace.
Hi, Coach. Not too bad. Yeah, we really played well as a team, and everybody's pretty excited about it.
Scott has quarterbacked Wood River to a 6-0 record so far this season, and the Eagles are winning by an average of 42.5 points per game. But for Scott, it goes back beyond the camps. His mother, former Olympian Carol Frost, started working with her sons when she was a track coach at the University of Nebraska.
And we started timing 40-yard dashes for the boys when they were about 1.5 years old.
Scott started playing football as a second grader.
And the very first time he ever touched the football, he scored a touchdown.
And he's been around his dad's high school football teams ever since.
From about 6th grade on, he was probably a better thrower than any of the varsity quarterbacks that we had.
So now where will Scott Frost take his many talents? We'll look at that tonight on the Late Sports.
Picking up a first down and putting him in position for a first down.
3rd down and 1 from the 28-yard line. Bookman and Salina are the setbacks behind Frost. Broken play. Frost. Oh, look at this. Look at this. He could go. Scott Frost, do you believe it?
Oh, my, that reminded me so much of Steve Young. Oh, jeez.
Oregon had that play designed for about...
Actually, he started his career at Stanford as a quarterback safety, so he had experience prior to at Stanford before he transferred to Nebraska.
Here's the option by Scott Frost. Breaks the tackle, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's going to score! He's to the 20, 15, 10, 5. He dives in and scores! Quarterback keeper by Scott Frost, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's going to go all the way, touchdown! Scott Frost to rifle it down the field. Newcomb's out there, he got it! He's to the 5, he'll score! After Scott Frost, he's going to run the quarterback draw. He's to the 10, he's to the 5, he hurdles in for the touchdown! Option by Scott Frost. He'll run the football. Following blockers. He's to the 5, and he dives in for the touchdown. And think that if we don't win all our games, that we don't deserve at least a share of it. We feel like we're the best team in the country. He's arguably the best coach in college football history, but the thing that he really does for his players is he doesn't just teach us on the field, but by his example and the example he sets, we don't just learn football around here. We learn how to be grown-ups, how to mature, and how to become men. And that's the thing that he's taught me the most, and I'd like to thank him for that. And
strong runner, which means at safety, he's going to be tough. And he showed that at the Hula Bowl as well. And some of the unique things he did at Nebraska in terms of this year, keeping them undefeated, being able to win some close games, and just having kind of an aura about him, where just like a magical Scott Frost.
If you play for Bill Parcells, there's two things you have to be. You have to be physically tough, and we certainly have seen that in Scott Frost. And you also have to be mentally tough to be able to play for Bill. And that's exactly the way he has. Tough mental football players. They're the kind of guys that Bill Parcells wants on his football team.
All the teams that interviewed them had an interest in Scott Frost, kept asking these guys, what about Scott Frost? So there was some intrigue in the NFL.
He's 6'2", 220, 4'6", 40, and he wins. So I think that's the key.
Ram. Get set. Wait, Johnny's not set.
I feel honored and honestly not worthy of being here. We're here because of the success of our teams, and the most important thing as a coach is to make a difference in the lives of young people, and we get a chance to do that every day. My dad was a high school football coach, head coach for 30 years, Larry. My mother, Carol, was an assistant high school football coach for 29 years. So I got it early. Playing for Coach Osborne at the University of Nebraska, he's my hero in coaching. Two things in my staff: I want good character people and I want intelligent people. Need some people that are familiar with our way of doing things, but the kids are hungry for guys to lead them, and I want good leaders for our players. A lot of coaches win games. What Coach Osborne did goes way beyond that. His life and career are a shining example of the character, work ethic, and integrity that make this program and this state extraordinary. If something was right, he always did it. If something wasn't right, he never did it. He turned us into champions on the field, but to me, his true legacy was that all of us who had a chance to play for him got to see every single day what it looks like to be a good man. Thank you, Coach, and go Big Red.
And now I want to present the championship trophy to Scott Frost and the UCF Knights.
It's hard to put into words. What these guys have accomplished is impossible. I don't know if it's ever been done. I don't know if it'll be done again. There's so much love on this team. There's so much love in this locker room. There's a lot of hard work and a lot of good people that put a lot into this, and I'm grateful to this group of guys. Listen, I'm proud of this coaching staff and the group of people we assembled to coach these guys. And I think we've given a lot to this program and to these kids. But this city, this university, and these kids have even given more to us, and I'm grateful.
It's a celebration for the University of Nebraska and for Husker football. Certainly a celebration of bringing one of our own home, a favorite son. It gives me a great deal of pleasure at this time to introduce the 30th head football coach at the University of Nebraska, Scott Frost.
Thanks for coming, boys. I don't know what to say to you guys other than come help me do this. We've all been watching this for a long time, and we want to make it what it was, so I need all your help, all your ideas, except when they're bad. Thanks for coming. Thank
Words can't describe how much it means to me to be back here in a place that I love, a place that I understand, a place that I want to represent. I want to thank Coach Osborne for all he's done for me. There was unity of purpose and unity of belief and unity of understanding and unity of support for this program, what it stood for, and what it was accomplishing. This program needs that again. This state needs that again. And when I walked into that weight room and saw all those players there, it really made me excited about the fact that we can get this entire state behind this football program, get this entire state pulling for these players, get this entire state excited about what's going on, and we're going to put a product on the field that this entire state can be proud of. It's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of dedication from a lot of people. But there was a formula that worked here for a long time, and times have changed a little, but some of those same things are what is going to make this work again. And that's a lot of good people that care about this place, working really hard. It's toughness, it's dedication, it's work ethic. That's what Nebraska is. That's what the people of Nebraska are. And that's what this place is going to stand for while I'm here. So thank you.